It was so painful after
Because it didn't work out.
we broke up.
Because it didn't work out.
Yeah, once we called off that wedding 20 years ago, it was the biggest heartbreak of my life.
Jennifer Lopez is getting candid about her music and who it's about. The 53-year-old singer sat down with Apple Music's Zane Lowe in a new interview released on Monday and reflected on the 20th anniversary of her album, This Is Me Then, which has led Jennifer to her new album, This Is Me Now, that is showing off the happy ending to her 20 years in the making love story with Ben Affleck.
That album was written and inspired by somebody you fell deeply in love with.
Yeah, it's true.
And then here we are 20 years later reflecting on then, now, with the same person that you were once again.
I know.
Deeply. It's like, what are we, in the Twilight Zone?
You know, it is a little bit like the Twilight Zone.
It doesn't happen.
It doesn't happen. And, you know, that album, This Is Me Then, really captured a moment in time where I fell in love with the love of my life.
Yeah.
And it's all right there on the record, and I didn't even realize what was happening and what I was doing.
You just got out of the way.
You know, it was just every day going from the set to the recording studio, doing the thing, being in love, you know, him coming into the studio, you know, Corey writing this, you know, I'm glad, and going, this reminds me of, you know what I mean? And me tweaking the lyrics with him. Like, every single song that we wrote there, me writing Dear Ben, and it was such a special moment in time.
Jennifer went on to share how special the original album is to her 50-year-old actor husband, and how he's her, quote, biggest fan, and that's what inspired her to make this new album.
I mean, he loves that album. He loves that music. He knows all of the words. You know what I mean?
I think it's pretty sweet.
It's crazy. He also was with me while I was creating it. You know, and you know what it is to make an album. You're listening to the demos in the car. You're listening to the mixes. I wrote this today. What do you think of this? You know, it was that over and over and over again for 2 years while we were together, 2.5 years that we were together. You know, so he knows it so well, and he loves it so much. And he's my biggest fan, which is awesome, and supporter. And when he came back into my life, again, the same thing happened, where I felt so inspired and so overtaken with emotion that it was just pouring out of me.
Jen and Ben rekindled their romance after 2 decades apart this year. They tied the knot in 2 separate ceremonies over the summer. And now, the Marry Me actress is giving some insight on how they got back together.
I think now that we're older, we realize, like, it's much more clear. Because even then, when we felt that way, now we know. Now, we know. And there's no questions. And there is no kind of like, well, let's see how this goes. Like, nope. It's me and you. That's it. All the way. Till the end. That's it. It's going to be us.
Was it quick? When you came together again and realized that the love was still
immediate. That was the immediate. That was the immediate.
We're not wasting any more time.
We're not. We're not. We knew. We had our kids, and we had to, you know, tread lightly and carefully so they could come along with us, because they didn't live those years before.
They're like our crazy parents,
They're like,
man.
who are these two?
They're like,
you know what I mean? And they're like, wow, like they've known each other forever. And that's it. We did know each other forever. And we, you know, had to live these separate paths, and we did other beautiful things, and we had these amazing children. But when we came back together, and the universe and God, and as it would have it, once we got whole enough and complete enough and loved ourselves enough and could stand on our own 2 feet, really completely, as the universe would have it, we were bought into each other's lives again. And it was like a crack in the clouds, and the sun came through, and it was like, boom, that's it. And we were both very sure.
Jennifer and Ben's love might be back and better than ever, but she did share how painful their breakup was in 2002 and how she was able to get through it.
Dude, I wouldn't even perform these records.
Yeah, you didn't even tour it.
It was so painful after
Because it didn't work
we
out.
broke up.
Because it didn't work out. I
Yeah,
can't take
once
this
we
on the
called
road.
off that wedding 20 years ago, it was the biggest heartbreak of my life. And I honestly felt like I was gonna die. And it sent me on a spiral for the next 18 years where I just was, you know, couldn't get it right. Couldn't get it right. But now, 20 years later, it does have a happy ending.
It does. Which is crazy.
It has the most, would never happen in Hollywood ending. They would be like, that would never happen. So we're not gonna write that because nobody would believe it ending. And
you can listen to this album again and you can actually appreciate it again for what it is, right?
Well, yeah, and it's funny because when me and Ben got back together, he said to me, he was like, you never performed the songs. Like, you never did I'm Glad. You never did this. You never did that.
Did he actually say that to you?
Yes.
He is fishing. He is fishing.
said,
why didn't you perform those
yes.
songs? Wow.
And I was like, you're right. I said, it was painful. It was like, it was a part of me then that I had to put away to kind of move on and survive.
The On the Floor songstress also shared the message she's trying to convey to her fans in This Is Me Now, and how, quote, true love does exist.
We captured me at this moment in time when I was reunited with the love of my life, and we decided we were gonna be together forever. And the whole message of the album then is like, this love exists, this is a real love. Now I think what the message of the album is very much, if you were wondering, if you have, like me at times, lost hope, almost given up, don't. Because true love does exist. And some things do last forever. And that's real. And I want to put that message out into the world. And that it does take a lot of vulnerability. But I couldn't stop myself. And some parts of it scare me. And I think parts of it scare Ben too. He's like, oh, do you really want to
well, because there must
say
be
all this stuff? And I'm like, I don't know how else to do it, baby.